All right. Yeah, the St. Louis mock jury. Last year and the year before, they harped about booths that were booth pictures shot on grass.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted everything shot on concrete for some reason.
That
This
doesn't make
year,
any sense.
right. Well, this year they didn't want bins in the booth picture, but they also considered photography reproductions. So they didn't understand the medium.
I just wonder who's doing the jurying for them. That's probably what
It's
I
not a
don't.
question of who's doing the jurying. It's a question of what instructions they are given. It's up to the show director to understand these things and then tell the jurors what's important and what isn't important.
That's kind of scary because
Hi, Karen.
Hi.
Did you have a new shoot?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
How did
I'm
it come out?
exhausted. It's going to be so much better. Yeah.
she's been advertising everywhere. I see her post on Instagram and Facebook. She
Yeah, no,
looks
I've
like
seen
she's
those.
having a good time.
I'm so relieved. What did I learn from this experience? You know, I had a photo shoot with a photographer I didn't know and a model that wasn't trained, and it didn't work out. So I appealed to my magazine friend. She instantly said yes. Her husband came as tech support. I had a new photographer, and I asked a model I've worked with before to be part of this. So there was a team of 5 of us. And it went really well. Somebody needs to mute the background there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, who's that? Teresa?
No, I just fell. I just dropped something.
But anyway, it's a huge effort, and we got good. We had a makeup person. We had someone taking care of the hair details. My job was to have the outfits ready to go. So it was boom, 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 boom. It's sort of like a theater production. You have to have all the parts lined up.
Well, it is. I mean,
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, we had a couple tech difficulties with the camera at first. And that was it took a little while to get that fixed, but then we figured it out, and that was great. What else can I say? It was a 2-hour drive to go to Portland. I got up at 5 a.m. so I'd be there on time, and picked up some food for everybody on the way because that was part of it. I knew it'd be doing this for at least 4 hours. And we started at 11 and we ended at about 5.
Wow.
Most of the snow is gone, but the neighborhood still had a lot of trees that were down. So people were running chainsaws trying to get the streets cleaned up. And then I drove home. It's another 2 hours, and it was sort of like being in a car wash at night. It was a really heavy rain. And of course, I got a little scolded by my husband when I got home just because it's not great weather for driving. But I got home safely.
Good.
Yeah. So I'll be talking with you soon, Larry.
Good. Are you happy with the pictures?
For the most part, I haven't seen everything. She hasn't uploaded them yet. But Melanie, my magazine friend, and I were both there with monitors looking, and both of us were saying, we got it. We got it.
Okay, good.
So that felt really good. She has an eye for details that I don't see. And I really stress the importance of getting the fabric lit properly. And the first couple of photographs, the fabric was lit. You could really see the detail, but the face was too bright. It was too much light on the face. So somebody has to figure out how to adjust that. And we took the time to do that rather than say, oh, we'll do it later with Photoshop.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you find this person? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sometimes it's who you know, Allison.
Very true. Very true.
And
It
so,
sounds like it was a success.
Well, Selena Rubin was the photographer. She happens to run Portland's only makeup school. And she also is a photographer because she does a lot of YouTube videos for her makeup business. She trains people. And she had worked with Melanie. Not only had she worked with Melanie, she had worked with my previous photographer from Newburgh, who had closed her studio. So it's really this Oregon is really a small place. It's people know each other one way or another.
Well, I'm really glad that you found someone because that's stressful. The whole
Well, I'm just really glad for the very frank appraisal of the first set of photos. And I can't wait to share with you the improvements, right? But I do think it is it's certainly an expense and an effort for wearables to get photographed properly.
Mhm.
If you
Well,
want
because you have
use
to add the
models.
model.
What's that?
If
Larry?
you want to use models.
Well, I think you still have to have a photographer who can light the
Right.
fabric.
Right, but a dress form doesn't move and doesn't require a stylist.
That's true, but at this point, I think people recognize my work because they see the movement.
Yeah,
And so I think I'm got to stick to the brand.
Well, that and they could see how it would look on a person. I mean,
Mhm.
people say to me, you know, they would like to see some model shots of my work just so they could see how it sits on someone. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously for as a jeweler, it wouldn't be good for jury shots most of the time.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, you know, they of course, you know, whether it's jewelry or textiles, it comes to life when it's on the body.
Mhm. Oh, absolutely. I feel very
Mhm.
philosophically, I feel very strongly that the last part of my whole process is when it's on the human form. It's actually the sculptural part of what I do. Maybe a lot of people don't get that, but I think it's really important. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
In
you
addition
know,
to this
clothing.
photo shoot, I have been working really hard in the studio, and these are new garments. You know,
Yeah.
there's going to be changes in some of the work. Maybe it'll look the same to you, but I know that the work's evolving.
I've noticed your new pieces.
Thank you.
They're beautiful,
Yeah.
and I look forward to seeing them in person.
Allison, I made a little short video and sent it to you. Are you considering using it or not?
I have it. Yes, absolutely, and it's on deck. I'm
Okay.
just I figure I actually sat down and did a bunch of setup. You know, Eric is teaching me Photoshop, and so I did a bunch of I'll call them setups. And so your video is in the queue with all
Okay.
that.
Okay.
And it's also what I like. I'm so glad you sent me the video because it's a nice break from the graphic.
Yeah.
That I'm using, and so it's like a good change. And I have different graphics also to use, but anyway. So
I know that you had asked us for content, and I was trying to help.
I really loved what you sent too. It was just kind of cute and
Well, Daryl took the pictures in the snow, so
okay.
that's what that was about. He'd actually gone on
Okay.
site and got pictures
Yeah.
in the snow. So I thought people might like to see the difference.
Yeah, but no, I have it on my iCloud, and so it's, you know, ready for Instagram. I'll probably do it tomorrow.
Okay, whenever is
But
good. All right.
yeah, I've been trying to post every single day, you know, because there's still plenty of time to apply. But I figure, you know,
Well, the deadline's right. It's right here in the middle of my forehead. I'm trying to get ready.
right.
So today in my email, I got an invitation to attend a conference for art fair directors and board members run by Cindy Larrick. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with it or not.
You should go.
What?
You should go.
Well,
you should
I don't
definitely go.
I think somebody from the board should go, but you know, it's costs money to do that.
Is
And as
is it
board,
via Zoom?
Just
Can you Zoom?
Karen,
is
just
that
go.
IFEE or something?
I have to look. It's Cindy Lyric. It's called Art Links Conference. Art Links, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Cindy is holding it, and it's in Oklahoma City,
Mhm. Got it.
the end of
So
April.
I don't understand
The end of
why.
April?
It's in April, right?
Yeah, that's when
Mm.
the Oklahoma City Festival of the Arts is.
Oh, I
That's
don't understand why
probably-
it wouldn't be also by Zoom. I mean, they just have to open a computer because it's, you know, also the beginning of show season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, the
Well,
only shows that are going that time of the year are the big ones in Texas. Everything else is still not happening. So if you're going to pick up a season, it's basically or you do it in April or you do it in November. Those are the only two times that make sense to do it if you want a vast majority of people going.
So it's
But-
April 24 through 26.
ah,
And it is
Well-
the opening night is the 24th, and I don't know about the show, Oklahoma show, but yep, anyway.
they're going to be doing a
It's
demo for the emerging artists program that the NIA is doing. They're going to be doing a demo in that conference. So
excuse me. Karen, did you say it was April, what, 24th
Through 26.
to 26th? Well, oh no, that's Tulsa. I was gonna say if I get into Brookside, I'm gonna be teaching, but that's in Tulsa, not Oklahoma City, so that's a different place. And because I don't live that far, but if I was teaching, then I'd have a free place to stay. And but
Well, I guess my question is to everybody, what would we get out of going to a conference like this as a board member or art fair director?
I cannot tell you at that point. I know that most of the directors go just to get to know each other and see what other people are doing, change ideas and things that are working and they're not working. That's what I've been told.
so
But if you
networking kind
want
of thing.
to, if you want to, I don't know how.
Yeah, send it now and I'll look for
If
it.
you're in the fence, just wait until a couple of weeks after Coconut Grove happened, and you can talk to Camille.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Or
think she's going to
calls-
be there. There's
Okay.
going to be
Yeah.
a lot of directors' names that were on the list that I recognized.
or
Well,
call
Karen,
Cindy.
then it seems, is there a budget in the organization for that?
I don't think we have a
Right.
budget line for that.
Right, but you know, so that's a question, I guess.
Yeah, it is a question.
Because it
Well,
surely shouldn't
Cindy
be.
is putting this on as an event, and I know she'll do a great job.
Mhm. I mean, it shouldn't be something like if you were interested in going for the organization, it shouldn't be something you should have to pay it for yourself.
Yeah, I'm just,
Yeah, but
I'm gonna,
they
bring
need
it
to
up.
have a budget for that too.
yeah, well, I don't think that we had considered needing a budget for
Right.
professional development, yeah.
Right.
But it'd be great if somebody on the board would want to go. We should send Kate.
Well, you should send the person that's going to get the most benefit from it.
Right.
It has
Well,
to
we're
be
not sure who
somebody
that would be.
willing to change.
We are working as a hive, so it's the group mind. Yeah,
I mean,
well, the other nice thing about working with the model I work with is that she has quite a following. So in some ways, she's an influencer.
wow.
And so it's great to be able to help cross promote, and it's good for all of us. But there was one other subject that came up during the photo shoot that's a more serious subject that has to do with cancel culture.
Mhm.
And I've been following this post of this really nice librarian who posts stories about kids coming into the library. And he was talking about on Twitter, all of a sudden there was this whole thread of negativity about his post about kids in the library. And I'm aware of 2 other people who have closed their businesses because of cancel culture. And
Wait,
it's,
excuse
mean
me.
with cancel
You
culture?
lost me here regarding a kid going to the library. So
oh, he was a victim of the cancel culture
the
online.
kid.
No, it's an adult
Oh.
who's a librarian who talks about kids who come into the library. He tells great
Okay.
stories. He's a very, very wonderful, genuine guy. But
Mhm.
it's this negativity that happens with social media. And
Yep.
it's really hard to protect yourself from that kind of activity. And I
Sure you can.
know 2 businesses who have
Mhm.
closed down because the cancel culture was so hurtful.
Mhm.
You just ignore it.
So what you call
It's
cancel?
No,
nonsense.
it's you can't just ignore it, especially if like people
Sure you
call
can.
authorities on you. No, there are circumstances where, I mean, like with the librarian, some parent could call him a pedophile, or like it doesn't matter if it's true, So, and I don't know, I'm not quite understanding the story with the librarian. Is it just that he was a librarian being canceled?
Well, I think it's the whole thread of
Mhm.
what do they call it when they're taking books out of the library because they object to
Yeah.
the content.
Oh,
So
the banned books. Yeah,
the banning books. So
I understand.
yes.
Right.
So there's a group of people who will take issue with any kind of library if they don't feel that they're, and this guy is saying the library is here for knowledge. There's a book
Right.
in here for everybody. And
Yeah.
so here we go. Here's the whole discussion, and it just starts to
Right.
go south. And
Yes.
I am unprepared myself to deal with any
Mhm.
negativity through social media.
Mhm.
I'm not really sure what the conduct is or how we can
Overcome it.
overcome it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us are. We're not
I mean,
used
look,
to that.
I posted, about Jazz Fest. Several people were saying, "Oh, I didn't realize they got in, and they didn't realize the booth fee was so high, $1,600." Okay, and it was the first year I applied, and I actually was contemplating, and I decided I'm going to apply. So if I just apply, if I got in, I would go, and I was rejected, and that's fine, and that happens. This is the business we're in, and other people were agreeing with me, and then some people were saying that these are not the exact words, but like that I was jealous and I should just be happy for them and this and that. And, anyone who knows me knows I'm always happy when people get into shows, and I'm very supportive just generally in my nature. And I was, basically what someone was saying about me was just literally not true about my character and about my nature. And so, I mean, I basically said, it sounds like you're projecting, actually, and that kind of stopped it. But
Which is
So-
Oh,
true.
Allison, I was not even looking at. I'm not in the group, and I got a phone call. They told me I need to talk to you.
Oh, wow.
Why?
really? I mean-
Yep.
Why?
Oh, she pissed off a bunch of people, but who knows? I
The
told
thing
her,
is,
that's between
it
you
was
guys and her.
The thing is, it was an appropriate comment. I was not berating anyone. I didn't use names. And if we're talking about saying emerging artists, new artists, I would recommend, before you apply to a show, read the prospectus, look on the website, look at the other artists, make sure you know how many days the show is and what the booth fee is. It's just, and so, yeah, some people took my comment as being harsh, but I felt in that,
It wasn't harsh.
on that
There was
thread,
nothing controversial about what you wrote. I mean, that's ridiculous.
I know.
These people are
Now-
idiots. They're
And then,
morons.
well, anyway,
God.
the thing is, I felt it was an appropriate post for that particular group on art fairs. And if not, like, what else can we talk about? I mean, it's just, dude, look at the booth fee before you apply. That's all.
Yeah, because
Did-
I told you the reason why I'm applied to that show is because the booth fee is really high, and it
That's
scares
exactly
me.
right.
It
Yeah.
scares me because with my
And
luck, I'm going to get in, and it's the wrong time of the year
Right.
to be shoveling $1,600 and booth
Right.
fees when you pay in the summer shows and you start making shows in winter in Florida.
Right.
Hey,
So
it's
that's-
about
But, know,
going to the event and watching and going to all the music and all that. You're gonna look at whatever you sell, you're gonna ship anyway, because people are there for the other things. So you
Well,
just keep that in mind.
in any case, it was just an innocent post having a conversation, and people are just such snowflakes. I mean, seriously, I don't think there was anything.
What is that
Yeah,
word?
look who's
What does
gonna
that
be the
word
next
mean?
president of the United
tell you.
States.
I'll tell you what it means. That people get so offended so easily that they just sort of melt away.
Who cares? Who cares about those people? Hey, listen, in a related subject today, I have, I was out firing pots because it's over 30 degrees. It's amazing
There you
how
go.
different. It's amazing how different, it is. But anyway, so I'm looking, and Will or somebody posted that it's a shame that that shows aren't posting their jurors because the harassment. So
Yeah,
I wrote,
right.
"Hey, I make a
Wait,
great juror because I'm
Wait, what-
impervious to let them say whatever they want. I don't care. I'd be a
Wait.
great juror."
Barry, the reason why he's saying that is because what Susan won last year.
I know why he's saying that, but
So, in some kind of way, I know it's going to happen, but it's getting. I just think that some of the artists are behaving like kids.
Hey,
Actually, they're not behaving like kids. They're behaving like other people in our society, and how judges or voting workers are, and it's scary.
I
It
just
could be
call them
scary.
kids.
Okay.
I don't care. Let them say whatever they want. As long as they're not going to shoot me, I'm fine.
But Barry, there you have it. Look at what's happening, and
I know.
the shows need to protect the jurors, and it's sad. It's a sad commentary
It's
that's
sick.
what has to be done.
It's
It
sick.
is
But-
sick.
It's
the
beyond.
thing
I'm
that,
sorry. Being sorry. It's ridiculous. God.
Hey, Larry, you know what I like about your post about St. Louis Affair?
Oh, did anybody watch the mock jury on
No.
Saturday?
No, I didn't.
No.
Oh, okay.
Did you?
Yes, because I actually participated in it.
Great.
Oh, how was it?
In the past 2 years, they didn't like booth pictures shot on grass.
Who cares? That's some
Right.
more petty
Right.
baloney.
This
God.
year, they didn't like booth pictures that had bins in it, whether or not they were photographers,
Oh,
because they didn't understand the definition of photography.
And that's why I don't
Oh,
watch
I think
these
I read-
mock jurors.
I think I read
juries.
that thread.
Yeah.
Yeah, you post something in there.
It'll just upset me to watch this stuff.
And the other thing that it was interesting that when they talk about reproduction, so what they consider printmaking, because printmaking is basically the same thing for photography.
Right. It is
So,
print.
it's
not the same thing. It is.
I know, but they don't see it the same way. It's like
Well-
the Rittenhouse Fine Art Show doesn't see that
No,
printmaking.
They
but
never
allow-
let photography in their show.
Yeah,
Who?
but they
Well,
allow
Rittenhouse.
printmaking.
That that just backs what I've been saying for a long time, that the quality of the jurors, the quality of the directors, the knowledge of all these people it's like it was bad to begin with, and it's even worse now.
But you know, not only that, Barry, it's also some of the artists are batching constantly photographers. And that same thread came out something from, I think was Tom Down that mentioned something about photographers. And it's the same thing over and over and over.
It's like the 1970s, right, Larry? Like
Actually, in the
70s,
1970s, black and white was photography. Color wasn't allowed.
but it was just being accepted, right?
Yeah,
Does
it's
that
As
mean
an
there's
art,
always
as an art
something?
form.
When I first started doing shows, black and white was accepted, but color wasn't. In the mid 1970s, and then color took over. And
Oh,
the
wow.
reason for that was because black and white was printed in the photographer's darkroom, and color you had to send it out.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
sacrilegious if you don't do it all yourself, right,
Right.
Larry?
Right.
You know,
Unless you were printing Cibachrome.
I saw a post of yours today where it was a table,
Right.
and you're talking about AI gets rid of all the shadows. That's for the first 10 or 15 years doing art fairs, that was the goal. If you did 3D, to remove everything around you and no shadows, and just have the work right there with no interruption, and that was considered to be really good, or the most acceptable way to
You've
have
said
your
that. I
images.
know you've said that before.
It's true, and
but you
actually,
know, the problem, if you don't have shadows and a 3D work, it's going to look flat to people.
yeah,
So you need to have some kind of shadows in there no matter what. It's the goal will be to reduce the amount, don't have hard shadows, but you always need some kind of shadows in there.
it was
If not, it's
considered
going to look.
enhancement. It was considered you're making it look better than it actually is. That was the attitude
Well, that's the
Well,
goal.
that's
in the 80s. Yeah, great.
what we was talking
So,
about.
so speaking of cancel culture, I mean, my feelings aren't hurt because I don't think I did anything wrong, but that very innocent thread, people were trying to cancel me. Like I shouldn't even have this conversation. I wasn't calling anyone stupid. It's more that, we all talk about
You were
helping
implying
other
it.
people, helping other people, and and giving advice to emerging artists and all of that. And it just,
Hey,
it's astonishing. Sometimes the most innocent things are always taken the wrong way.
hey, is it okay to write GFY? Can you write GFY after they make a comment like that? Is it
GFY. Wait.
What does that
go,
stand
go
for?
fuck yourself?
Oh,
I mean, that's how I feel. That's how I feel about these people. Like,
I mean,
think
the thread was nothing, right? It was
Well, if
really,
they were replying to you, could you delete their post?
I
well,
could.
not for
because-
everybody.
Depends
Well, I
on who they're
posted, so
replying to.
I could delete the whole post because I posted it in the first place.
Well, no,
Yeah.
you don't want to
Why
do
would you
that.
do that?
But the point
if
is
you-
that we should be able to have a conversation.
Yeah, exactly. And anything else is, that censorship is outrageous. To
But I'm
censor
going to tell
somebody.
you for what some people took it like.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you some people took it like everybody applies to 2-3 shows. They have a list of shows that they want to do, and they don't expect to get in. And this particular artist that took it personal was, I applied to a show knowing that the chances of me getting to the show is maybe slim to none. And I was surprised that I got in, and now I need to make a decision of if I want to do the show, and he's going to do the show, but it's something that he does normally with top shows, and he didn't like the comment. He somebody in telling him later on that the comment that you made was not directly to him, but he took it personal. And a lot of people,
I don't even know who you're talking about. The other thing
I'll
is,
tell you later on when we're not recording.
it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't.
I saw several people talking about it. You know, other people had the lovely dilemma, and of they got into Smithsonian and Jazz Fest, but it was on the same weekend, so they were trying to switch their Jazz Fest is 2 weekends, so they were trying to switch. And otherwise, you have to choose Smithsonian or Jazz Fest, and that's a really hard decision too. And people were able to have that conversation, and whoever posted about that, nobody took it the wrong way. You know,
Well, I just telling you what's coming out.
Right. Well, you know what? People take things so personally when it's not towards them. And again, I have no idea who you're talking about. You know, it's just too bad, because the truth is you could learn from it. I mean, every show I apply to, I feel like there's a percent, if all things being equal, there are the people who automatically get in, and then there are these open spaces. But as a jeweler, you know, they'll have a certain percentage, say, even, you know, for a balanced show. And so I figure as a jeweler, there's a 50-50 chance in any show I'll get in. I'll either get in or I won't. And that's it. And so, you know, we throw everything up to the ceiling and see what sticks. And mazel tov that this person got in. It's a very nice thing. And so,
Yeah,
anyway,
that's a good decision to make. Like, pick one.
And the thing is that people take that personally. Instead, you know what? Keep scrolling by. You could say, you know, F you to me, whatever. It doesn't matter, because it's not personal towards any one person. It's just a conversation about art fairs on the appropriate page. And, you know, I mean, I just see nothing wrong with that post.
That's fine. I
mean,
just telling you what it came out.
There was
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
wrong with that post. It was a nice post, actually, I thought. It's pretty much why I stay off of social media. I went a whole year. I got hacked, got off it for a whole year, and I didn't miss a thing. The only reason why I went back on is because I wanted to be able to communicate with some of you people, or know what you're doing. But I didn't miss any of that. Who cares? You know, these people are
Right.
idiots. You know,
Yeah.
what? This negative stuff, you know? Oh, it's, you know.
But also to think that a post that I'm saying generally is you know, towards somebody that I don't even think I know. I have no idea.
Especially you, Allison. I mean, you're the nicest person out there. So, you know, that's ridiculous.
Well, not everyone thinks that, but thank you.
Yeah,
I
I can
appreciate
second that.
Yeah.
But
I can second that. Some people want to see
anyway,
that.
oh geez, don't say that.
Now, if it was Oscar, you know, but
you can't
you,
joke
Allison,
about that, Oscar. You can't joke about that today, because we live in such a violent society.
I know,
So
but
I hope you're joking.
Yeah, I'm joking, but you know, that's basically it. Goes like I don't understand. Like this weekend I was next to Mike Grosser. Oliver was in front of me. Maria Reyes was next to me. My friend Steven and Anita was in the other corner. Michelle Madres was there, and it was a fun experience to be around all those people. Everybody was just working the booth and just trying to do the best they can with the situation that we have. So,
and which show was this one?
Naples Invitational.
Which show? Oh,
Naples Invitational.
Okay. Got it.
It's
how was your weather?
It was the first Saturday was good, but this Sunday was really cold. And while people came in and buy, there was not enough buyers even for the small show that it is. There's a lot of people that just did okay, between okay and mediocre. And
I would imagine weather is a big factor in Florida.
Yeah, the weekend before it rained basically both days, and it was just bad. And Naples was bad. I got a painter friend that she did Naples New Year, then Bonita, and then Naples Invitational. And I made more money than her in Naples Invitational and the three shows, the other three shows she did put together.
Wow.
But it's all weather related. Some people are getting lucky.
Mhm.
There was a building buying pieces for the lobby from the flood from last year, and they went and
Mhm.
bought in Bonita. They bought, I think 1, 2, 3, at least 4 pieces from different artists, and they end up going good. One is Daryl, the other one was Diane French, and the other two I don't remember the names. But they, people are start buying stuff, but I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, you need the people to be out there. That's the problem. And
Yeah, there's not
weather
been that
can,
many people out, and the weather's not been good. Really, I will not blame
right.
anybody for not coming out.
And certain, like if you're in the Midwest, the weather's it doesn't matter. I mean, you want it to be nice, but people will come out in different types of weather there. But in Florida, I would imagine, not as much.
Yeah, but we'll see how it goes.
I looked at the weather in Florida for this week. It's supposed to be cold and rainy, I think, during the week, but it's supposed to be nice on the weekend.
Yeah.
Are you doing a show this weekend or next weekend, Barry?
This weekend I don't have nothing, and it's the first weekend that's going to be nice. And then for Fort Myers, I'm crossing my fingers that the storm blows, because right now doesn't look good. For your information, Barry.
When is Coconut
It'll be fun.
Grove?
President's
Coconut
Day
Grove in 4
weekend.
weeks from now.
3 weeks. No.
4, did you say? I didn't hear.
Well,
4, you got
it's the
this
middle of
weekend.
February.
It's
President's
February.
Day
4
Oh.
weekends.
Got it.
4 weekends from now.
Boca Hot Works is this weekend.
No, this weekend I think it's
Images.
Patty's Boca.
No, it's Boca Hot Works. I'm in it.
That is Patty's show.
That's
Yeah, Patty's show. Yep.
Patty. That's Patty Boca this weekend.
Yeah, last weekend was Howard Allen.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some big jury notices coming in soon.
Like which one?
I think Friday. Cherry Creek is soon. I'm not sure when. That might be Friday, but I think Brookside. I don't know that that's that big, but
Brookside just closed. Brookside just closed on Friday. So that's not coming anytime soon.
Thought I saw an email about that, but yeah, I could be totally wrong. I thought this Friday maybe it's Cherry Creek.
Oh, this Cherry Creek will be interesting. I got selected to a show in Dallas today. I'm just waiting for Collingwood to see if I do both of them. So we see. Oh. Damn, it's 4:40 already. Wow.
140.
Yeah. Don't you have to go for free tacos?
No, there's no free tacos. It's Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, Taco Tuesday.
Got 5 more minutes before I need to. Well, no, I can stay a little longer. It's not like I need to walk that far to the place. I need to meet the people.
Are you going to Taco Tuesday?
Yeah.
I went once.
You're going to have to go when you stay here.
Oh, I'll go. Oh, it'll be fun.
So what do they call Wednesday?
Wednesday is a home day. Get ready for the show.
Hump day. And what's Thursday?
Drive to the show.
Yeah.
I'm the only one. I was
Thursday. I'm going to see a concert.
Oh,
3
What
Dog
concert?
Night. 3
Oh,
Dog
really?
Night. Yeah,
Wow.
but there's only one dog left.
And one is the loneliest number.
Right.
Oh, bring Elvis.
Yeah. Well, that'll be my first concert for the year.
Sounds great.
I think I averaged one a month last year.
Wow.
I haven't been to a concert in years.
Yeah, I haven't been to anything since before the plague.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm not comfortable going, to be honest with you. From everything, that's the one thing I'm not comfortable 100%.
Yeah, I don't blame you, especially right now.
Yeah. You know, I didn't even went to see a basketball game, and my sister can get tickets for the Bulls anytime I want, and I didn't want to do it.
Mhm.
The Bulls.
Yep. So
Karen, you know, in talking about cancel culture, it also exists very much on the left.
Especially on the left.
There was a lot of that.
It's about race too, and I've worked really hard to have a diverse group of models. But my other friend who had this online magazine, it's just like she was probably one of the most diverse person I know as far as who she had in the magazine. The models were just all shapes, kinds, and colors. It was beautifully done. But for some reason, someone decided to target her for not doing enough.
Right.
And it just really went south. It just hurts.
Yeah.
It doesn't help either party.
More ridiculousness.
So there's this butcher shop in Berkeley. This happened, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, and they have all, like, you know, local meats, and it's like an old school butcher. Even when you go in there, they have caps on. It looks like it's like the 1920s. Anyway, no, it was not PETA. There's a more extreme animal organization. I forget the name, but they targeted this butcher's shop, and it actually helped in Berkeley. It helped their business, which is kind of
Because
funny.
people came to their support.
Yes, and the thing is, it's like go to McDonald's. You know, I mean, you know, we're not talking about large corporate cattle feed lot type of, you know. Anyway, so yeah.
Well, Berkeley insisted that their McDonald's have a vegan option at one point. That was like 20
probably
years ago, before, you know, there were those Beyond Burgers and stuff.
right. But if you're vegan, you really can't. I mean,
You don't go to Burger King.
Well, I
would
know,
think you
but they
can't.
were. They
No, you
went
do
in
go
there
to
and
Burger King. They have a meatless thing at Burger
Well, now
King.
Yeah,
they
but
do.
it's not. But it's not kosher because they're cooking everything on the same, you know, pans and everything. So, I mean,
Not
if
gonna
I
be
was
kosher
vegan,
anyway.
if I was vegan and I'm not, I would have a problem that, you know, meat is being cooked on the same stove as
Grill.
a
The
vegan
word you're looking
patty.
for is grill.
Yeah, and you're right, Allison.
It's the same thing with the slicer in the deli.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to have
Yes,
separate slicers for meat and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they usually do.
Well,
At
not
least a decent one.
not in my local shop and save.
Well, that's the
And then don't even get me started about when they touch money and then food.
Well, even with gloves on.
That's just disgusting.
Right,
It's-
right. Which defeats the
There's
purpose.
actually, I'm an old health inspector, and there is actually not, that's not even a problem, touching the money in the food. People really get grossed out about it, but the chances of getting any type of transfer is like zero.
Yeah, the only thing you could get for money is
Interesting.
cocaine.
Probably.
Oh,
Only the 20s and up.
I remember those days.
Well, guys, I see you in the
Enjoy your
You
tacos.
froze. Bye, Oscar.
Well, it's been a lively discussion.
You faded.
It has. Well, I got a free video to watch, a tutorial on just a simple technique from a jeweler whose work is in the Smithsonian. And I took a class from him many, many years ago. And I took the time to watch it. It was just on rivets, but everyone does something differently. And I really, I took some notes and I loved seeing it. And then I looked at his classes. He has online classes. And sometimes if you know something, you could actually learn more from someone. And I'm contemplating signing up for this grouping of classes of his. You can have it for 6 months, although I think I would just sort of give myself a workshop, but I haven't taken a workshop in years and years and years, and I teach them. And it's really been the first time in a long time that I feel like, this could be just, up my game a little within the realm of what I do. It's not like it's different. It's just, you learn all these different tips from other people. And this is a very old school jeweler. So it's not like there's all these expensive tools you have to buy or anything. And so anyway, that was kind of an enlightening thing to just have these thoughts in my mind today.
That was one of my motivations for signing up for the textile tour in Italy. I did it twice. And it's outside my box. It's outside what I would give I needed permission to play, to learn things that are outside of what I normally do. And that was just so healthy for me.
I can understand that. That's why I'm shooting all those bird pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
I've been on a grind of producing fabric and cutting and sewing and going to shows that hasn't allowed me to explore other things that I'm interested in. So,
and it looks like you're using it looks like you're using more wool.
I'm starting to use wool. It's going to give me all kinds of grief, I know, doing summer art fairs, but I just
they're
wanted
beautiful. They're
Thank you.
beautiful fabrics. And in the mountains, wool can be worn probably most of the year. I mean,
I can guarantee you that it's going to be a struggle in August to talk to people about wool jackets.
Right. Maybe, but I mean, hopefully not. But yeah,
I get it. So, but it's a U.S. company. It's called Brown Sheep. It's in Montana, and I had used wool many, many years ago, and I just love sewing with it. Makes a nice garment, and there's a place for wool in our culture. So it's part of my effort to use materials that are, just more sustainable. And
wool it's easy to clean. It lasts forever. I mean, it's not a fussy, I would think, and it looks, whatever you're making, the wool you have looks very beautiful.
Yep, it looks soft. Yep. So we'll see. I did actually sell one, and the woman lives in Salt Lake City, Utah, and she says, "Oh, I can wear that in the winter in Utah, of course."
Right.
But at the time we were in St. Louis, but she understood.
Good.
Yeah, it's just me giving myself permission to play with different materials. It also is a message that I'm really frustrated with the quality of some of the materials that I'm used to buying. And I'm just kind of out of desperation looking at other things.
Right. Yeah, that's a problem with fabrics. I mean, there are probably less manufacturers than there used to be.
Yep, a lot of places have closed. Businesses have been sold and consolidated, and then they've streamlined their color line. And I'm kind of going, what am I going to do? My favorite color is now gone.
Yeah.
Well, even the commercial fabrics are really decreasing in quality.
Yeah.
Fewer threads per inch.
Yeah.
So it's hard to find, go to Joann's and buy fabric now because it's like,
Yeah, and anyway, I think there's an argument to be said for recycling garments or recycling other fabrics. If it's a quality fabric, find a way to use it again. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, it's you know, if you look at vintage clothing, the styles, the colors, the patterns are so varied. Where
Mhm,
now, I mean, the talk about dye lots, my phone case and
mhm,
my coffee cup, they're very similar color.
mhm.
Oops. I don't know if you can
Pantone
see it, but
works on that. You know, the peach is the color of the year this year, or something like peach.
right. And I think I have a t-shirt. I think I have a t-shirt this color purple too.
Yeah, but I went to find a burgundy in the fabric store a few weeks ago. It was nowhere to
Mhm.
be found. Nothing was in that particular shade. Absolutely
Really?
nothing. I had to go to
Wow.
Goodwill.
Oh boy. And it would be very hard, I would imagine, to buy fabrics online, like from the big companies like Mood Fabrics or something. Yeah.
Mhm.
When I was in Chicago, I went to two amazing fabric stores that I think you would have loved. One was like a discount store, and then the other one, you know, was not, but I mean, just rows and rows and amazing. Although I could not find a charcoal gray Dupioni, you would think it, because I use it for my packaging, and it's pretty basic. It's gray. It's like a charcoal gray, and I could find a lighter one, but not. So that's a problem. You know, I make my own packaging, and the outside is usually this silk dupioni. The inside is some sort of patterned sort of thing, but I can never find the same thing again. It has to be a small pattern because they're small bags. And I've been kind of putting in Eric's ear to design a fabric because he has those kinds of skills. And these days,
There
you
are
could
companies
you
that
could
will
just
print a fabric for you easily.
right,
Yeah.
right, exactly.
I'm
So
told that some of those are not good to get stuff from, like spoon flour, which was one of the first ones. They
Mhm.
said it
yeah,
fades really bad.
Oh,
it what? I'm sorry.
Fades. Fades.
Oh, it
F-A-D-S.
fades. It fades.
So
Okay.
whatever they're using as, I don't know, ink or whatever is not that stable.
Ah. Well, that makes me think the place I get my banners, they have a dye sublimation process, so I could throw my banners in the washing machine. They're made of swimsuit material, and then I realized, and their prices are actually pretty reasonable. I don't need that many bags in a year, and it makes me think, oh, I could have them print, but I just need the design. The design is the hard part. The designs, the ideas, those are really what we labor over.
Actually, your design should be just like your banners with pictures of your
Yep.
jewelry.
that's what I was
Right.
thinking too.
In like a repetitive pattern or something.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 And so when I
Yeah.
went to Italy to learn about weaving on jacquard, I jumped into this whole new area of a tessellated design where you
Oh.
have a repeat pattern, and it's the empty spaces between your pattern that are very important, and they have to interlock.
Yes.
So that was the
Right.
one of the things I learned about going on my trip to Italy. Yeah,
Yeah.
tessellation
So
design.
the empty part, I mean,
It's the negative part. It plays an
yeah,
important role.
it does. And it's like if I were to look at fabrics like on spoon flour, I could look at the same design with, let's say, 4 different colorways.
Mhm.
And it really does it goes back to Joseph Albert's, actually, the interaction of color.
Mhm.
And so thank you, this is actually good to think about. And anyway.
Karen, I'm going to be
Hi,
up in your
Court.
part of the world in early August.
You are?
Yeah. Are you familiar? Do you know anything about the let's see, what's it called here? The Anacortes Art Festival?
Anacortes, yes, I used to do it years ago. It's almost Canada.
Yeah, I know someone who did it.
I was just looking at a map. They're interested in having me come out and do one of our emerging artists workshops.
That's
Oh,
great.
that's great. I know someone who does that show. 2 people, one did it once and then one does it all the time because she lives up there.
Yeah, I used to go up there to do it, and one of the reasons it worked, I mean, I had issues with who was in the show because it's a real mix of some buy, sell, and artists. But people get off the ferry, and there's always interesting people coming through the show because of the ferry. And I remember getting an order from a gentleman from Texas. He wanted a jacket for each of his 3 daughters. And it was just that kind
Wow.
of, that it just made my weekend to have that kind of
Yeah.
connection. But it's been
I-
several years since I've been there.
I had to laugh. You were talking about, selling your stuff in the summer. And I think the first show I did, where I met Barbara Holloway, it was 100 and some odd degrees in Salina, Kansas, and we were neighbors.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it's like she was struggling bad.
Of course, of course. Yeah. Yeah, it happens.
So
That was an interesting show. The weather alone is challenging, to say the least. At Salina.
yeah, and it was hot. Luckily, we were under a tree, and the way they set the booths up is their space. The booths are back to. If you've never done the show, the booths are back to back. But
Somebody
there's
has something playing.
but there's space in between them. So you'll have a booth space, booth space, booth space, and then you have another booth behind it. And so what we did is we were close enough that we just took the side of my tent and overlapped her awning fitting. So we made this covered walkway in between, and we had a nice breeze. And it was actually, for it being 104 out, it was, manageable.
Yeah, it's hard when it's that hot.
The
When
problem
I
was
did it,
when you went to tear down and you got out in the sun, and it's always windy there, and it
Really
gets
windy.
dusty.
40-mile-an-hour winds all day long.
It's Kansas. That's normal.
Yep.
That's what everybody said. That's really funny. That's what everybody said who came by. Oh, welcome to Kansas, And then it rained at night, and I'm telling you, the water was flowing sideways. It was coming in sideways because from the wind. It was amazing. And nobody's booth went over, which it's still hard for me to
It's a
believe.
miracle.
Well, when you do shows in this part of the country, you just expect that to happen, and people are prepared for it.
I did well.
Good. So this is the
Court.
Smoky Hill show?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I haven't
I
been
have-
there in a while.
It was really good, and then I think kind of went downhill. I don't know what it's like now. I have never done really good sales there, so I did it once and won an award. So I got back in, did it a second time, and just said, no, this isn't my crowd.
So Court, are you doing any other shows out here in July, August?
No, I'm not doing any shows out there.
You're just going out for
I'm
the
just going
workshop.
out to do the emerging artist program.
Okay.
When is that?
The show is the first weekend in August, the
Yeah.
very beginning of August.
Ah,
So because of the distance, we have a lot of things we have to get worked out. So
mhm.
Yeah. So you're going to help them with their emerging artist program? You're going to
NAIA has developed an in-person emerging artist workshop. And it's a kind of a hybrid. It'll be a couple of Zooms, but in person. And so that's what they're bringing me out to do.
That's really cool.
Okay, good to know.
We haven't started really promoting it yet. We're still getting a few things. I'm going to be speaking at the directors conference in Oklahoma City about it.
I
in
was
April.
asking questions about that earlier. I got an email from Cindy Larrick today about that conference.
Cindy, who set up the program, the Emerging Artist Program at St. Louis,
Hmm.
Cindy, Diane French, and I are the three that put this together. And so Cindy's had a big hand in it. If this goes well this year, we're looking at offering, this would be the short version. We're looking at doing something. It wouldn't be a 2-year program like St. Louis does, but we would look at setting up something similar to what St. Louis does with artist mentors and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
Yeah.
really great.
Yeah, good to know. It's certainly something that we'll bring up to our board to talk about. I know that this year, because we're changing the location, we have a lot on our plate, but I think it's one of the topics we need to talk about for the future.
well, one of the things that one of the nice things about this for shows is they will have very little involvement in it. We
Oh,
will come in, do it, and the show doesn't have to worry about it. The couple of things we're going to need help with is finding a location,
mm-hmm.
and then help promoting it ahead of time. We'll handle all the registration. We'll come in all ready to go. We'll do it the night before, or maybe the night the show opens, if it's, opens on a Friday night. And then we will come back the next day and do a walk through the show. And then part of the program will be the attendees will volunteer for the show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, when you say find a location, you mean to hold the workshop?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And that would just be totally different in each place. So
Yeah. And, as we're going into areas, we don't know, it's very difficult to go into an area that you don't know and try and find someplace.
of course.
And, the show may have office, they may have, rooms reserved at a hotel and all that. So
Yeah.
there is a charge. There's a flat fee and then plus my travel. And it's just basically everything's kind of right now to break even within AIA.
So what about your lodging though?
Well, my
That's the
lodging, travel, lodging,
That
food,
includes, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
all rolled into travel. So
One of the
Got it.
conversations our group has already had is about finding emerging artists. How do we find them? How do we connect with the community to find the talent that's interested in being an emerging artist?
that's
Yeah.
one of the things that we're working on, is to be able to put together a kind of a promotional packet that would include some places where you could go and look for the artists and advertise to, obviously any kind of junior colleges, universities in your area that have art departments. But things like, are there any local
Community.
artist associations, art guilds, things like that, that sometimes you don't think about. Those are good sources
Yeah.
to find, emerging artists. And sometimes there's maybe a artist co-op that works with a lot of new artists, and a lot of times you'll find those in like ceramics or glass because, kilns and furnaces are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Or even
would-
artist co-op stores, that kind of thing. Like artist co-op galleries would be a
Mhm.
place as well. Yeah. But yeah,
well,
those are
that's the things that's what we're putting together, Karen.
Yeah, well, the idea is that we need to get fresh, young blood into the market. As we are getting gray. Be nice to see young artists coming up.
Well, and one of the things about this is,
And I'll tell you right away.
our definition of emerging artists is not just young artists.
Yes, I
It's
understand that too.
anybody that's new and, might be a second career for somebody,
Yep.
or people are doing this after they've retired.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
technically an emerging artist, I think.
Yeah. So
I've been-
we're not defining what an emerging artist is. That's up to the show.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
you know,
Usually an emerging artist for shows, you have to have done, let's just say 3 shows or less or something like, there are certain parameters they put like that.
yeah, typically kind of the definition that I like to use is
Mhm.
anybody that's doing shows for 3 years or less.
Uh-huh.
I've been 1 year, and that's part of the problem. Sometimes I think it was Gasparilla had an emerging artist program. And I didn't think I was an emerging artist. And then afterwards I found out I could have applied because the definition was something about like anybody that doesn't have a show, like a gallery show or something like that.
Have you looked at the program at Coconut Grove?
No, I probably should have, huh?
The emerging artist program at Coconut Grove is pretty much the same program that St. Louis uses. Cindy Lyric set up both of them. And it's a 2-year program. The first year, I'm not sure exactly what you do the first year. But you participate the first year, help at the show.
I can tell you, they have like the day before setup.
Oh,
they'll
I
have,
remember. I'm sorry. The first year, there's some kind of classes in the evening. The next day there is a van display where some artists open up their vans, and you can see how they do things. And then the emerging artists are assigned to help an artist set up. And then throughout the weekend, you spend time with different artists.
Well, here,
And
I'll
then
give
you
you
are
the
assigned a
number right
different artist to help tear down.
Yep. I've actually done the St. Louis Emerging Artists Program. I've been a mentor several years in a row.
562.
Yeah, I've done it a couple times.
723.
My brain's not really functioning this evening. So that's the first
But
year.
what's their definition of emerging artist?
You'll have to
All
look.
right.
They're all different.
Yeah.
But then that's the first year. The second year, then what St. Louis does, I don't know how Coconut Grove handles it, but what St. Louis does is St. Louis sets up one big tent, and it is right in the middle of the show. It is the best location in the show. It's right in the middle. And then the artists, and there's usually 10 to 12 of them.
Yeah.
They get together and decide how they're going to split up the space among themselves, and they're all responsible for their own displays under the tent.
Right.
And then that second year they get to show, and I don't know if there's a fee or not, but that is, so you help the first year, and I think between the first year and second year there may be some classes and seminars that go on, and then the second year you get to exhibit.
Yeah.
It's a pretty thorough program. I thought it was pretty impressive.
Stephen King,
Like
who runs the Des Moines show, comes
Mhm.
down and helps and kind of runs the emerging artist program in St. Louis. He's during the show. So he's kind of comes in from outside. And so that's one less thing that
Yeah.
Sarah has to worry about.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
it's,
I've actually been
it's
on
a
that
very-
panel
it-
several times.
It's a big commitment. I mean, for the emerging artists, it's really, and it's kind of nice because, I mean, in a way it weeds out certain people because of the commitment.
Yeah, I was thinking it's like I'm giving up that weekend though for a show where I could be at Artie Gras or something like that instead. So,
But I will tell you, it is well worth it. It is worth giving up a show, unless you just
once you get
the
into
money-
Coconut Grove, right?
Yeah. You couldn't pay for that kind of education that
Mm-mm.
you'll get that weekend.
Right. Right. Yeah, no, I agree. Very impressive what they do.
So
All right, I'm Googling.
I never was able to take advantage of emerging artists programs because prior to doing art fairs on the road, I did open studios for at least I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And so it seemed like I wasn't an emerging artist by the time I did my first art fair.
And when I started, I didn't know about them.
Yeah, I don't think they
Oh.
were there.
Oh, I can't do it. It says a novice or never participated in an art show.
Oh, emerging artist.
Yeah, that's the requirements.
Yeah.
And I'm not in Miami-Dade County. I'm Broward.
Well, actually, Cherry Creek, I think, is the only show in the country that has an emerging artist program that's not based on location.
Oh, you're
Check,
right. That's right.
check St. Louis. I'm not sure St. Louis has a location requirement.
I thought they did.
Does Fort Worth? I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean,
Ah,
they were
yes,
all
I
to
think Fort Worth
benefit
does.
local artists.
But you're right. I knew an emerging artist who did Cherry Creek, now that I think of it, and she was from elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barry, did you lose your voice when you lost your hair?
Nope.
He's saving it up to say something witty.
No.
Well, I was going to say, Court, that's probably part of your problem with emerging artists is that it is confusing because one place has different requirements than the other, and then the emerging artist is already intimidated anyway. So, and they're not sure if they qualify. So it's be hard to kind of, I think people are intimidated by those programs.
I think that someone interested just would have to contact the show if they're not sure. Because
Well, I think
because
the best way to do it is actually set up a booth at the show itself for people that are interested in being an emerging artist, because I think that's when you're going to get the people. I walked the shows years before I ever actually participated in them.
Well, I had at Plaza, I had 2 people come up and ask me, you know, one was one was the mother of a high school kid, and then I had somebody else who they were the artist, and they were really interested in, you know, what it took and, you know, things like that. So
Exactly. That's a way to get people.
I think probably what we will do is we will work with the show, and unless the show has a definition of an emerging artist, I really like, I mean, because I know it took me 3 or 4 years to really get comfortable, and so I would hate to you know, just say you've never done a show or this, that, the other as part of an emerging artist program. You know, I think somebody that's in their first or second year would definitely qualify.
What
yeah,
about age requirements?
Nope, none.
Good.
That is a big deal. We will not have age requirements.
No, that's good.
I mean, I'm in my first year and I made some like big mistakes, as Barry mentioned in my when I did my my critiquing. And so that would be a great way to avoid those, because
Right.
I'm shelling out a lot of money to try to get into shows that I'm making amateurish mistakes and being rejected for.
See, I have no problem with making mistakes because that's how you get, not how you don't make mistakes.
Well, here's the
It's
thing,
just,
and
but it's
here's
simple. It was simple things like the name on the painting when I
It's a
submitted
learning
it.
process.
Yeah, I mean, it's
you
a
know, I
little.
think one of the things we're going to talk about is, or a lot of the things we're going to talk about is, well, actually, it's kind of, I mean, I'm kind of doing this because I'm a little bit selfish. I figure the more education that new artists have, the easier they're going to be, the easier it's going to be around them at a show.
That's
And
definitely true.
and for shows, they're going to be easier to work with.
Right. That's
And
true. I mean, you
by-
don't, you don't want the people making mistakes on weights next to you.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Having had other people's booth knock mine over, I'm very sensitive to that.
So yeah, so I say it's kind of selfish on our part, but
That's
if
not
we
being
can
selfish.
help eliminate a lot of problems, everybody benefits.
Yep.
When you say no age limit, are you talking about to enter a show at all? Because like Comic-Con, you have to be 18 or have your parents sign
No,
for
we're
it.
talking about second career people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not, you don't have to be
Yeah.
a college
Yeah.
student to be an emerging
Older,
artist.
not younger.
Yeah,
Well,
we're more concerned
they have
about older rather than
major-
younger.
entering, so they have to have permission from their parents, because if you're not reach your majority, you can't sign a contract, which is required to be there in the show.
Right.
Well,
So
guys,
that's-
I
I
think
gotta
most-
go. But thank you, Court, for this information. It's very timely to hear this.
Karen, you've got my phone number, don't you?
Mhm.
Give me a call
Yep,
and I'll get into the particulars.
okay.
Why don't they do it on Zoom?
How are you going to walk a show on Zoom?
No, I'm talking of the meeting in August.
Oh, the meeting in April, or I wish they
In
meet
April, right, in
I
April.
wish some of that was on Zoom. It would make it easier.
Well, ask Cindy about it, or get a hold of I don't know what, I think it's Rob, I don't know what her last name is,
Right,
that does art links, and ask her about it.
sure.
Robin Markowitz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I could. Yeah, because again, I'm not sure that it's in our budget to send a representative, but it would be great if we could. Or we have to write a grant to get money to send us, and we don't have a grant writer on our team at the moment. Yeah,
So, and the other thing we're going to talk about, Karen, is we're going to try and provide some ideas, just like for the promotion is give people some ideas, is also give them some ideas for funding for it.
okay. Yeah, those are things that we are actually working on right now.
So,
It's all good stuff. Thank you. All right,
All
I
right.
gotta sign off. We'll see you next time.
all right.
Okay.
All right, bye,
Bye.
Karen.
It's all
Bye-bye.
good until someone gets offended by something that is, not that important.
All
Isn't
right.
that inevitable?
Unfortunately, these days, yes.
That's right, unfortunately.
You
Barry,
can't have a conversation.
Yes, Court?
or I'm sorry, Larry, I meant your the conversation about the photographers was kind of mild. I was surprised.
I don't know. That's because there were a lot of photographers in that conversation.
When people make the comments about all you do is push a button and it goes to the lab, then they have no idea what I do, and I
Right.
just immediately discount them.
Right.
Well, but also we that are not in your medium depend upon photographers, and it's a different type of photography for our jury images. And there is a difference between an amateur and a pro. And, the whole idea of pushing a button, I could take a picture of a sunset that looks good, but it's not like this eye.
But you
that-
can't
that
sell
you have.
10,000 copies of it.
No, because, it's redundant, it's derivative, it's,
It's not
and
derivative.
these people are going, well, they think I sell, hundreds of copies of one image. I have one image that I might have sold 100 copies of. I have images that I sold one of. Boom, that's it. Sold one, I have other things I'd rather hang in my booth than that image.
the constant
So-
battle.
That's why I you know, that's why I just don't even want to open a discussion with people that don't understand the medium.
Well, you were at you watched part of the meeting, right? The
No, I
Zoom-
forgot. I totally spaced it off.
Oh, okay, because they criticized your Biden picture.
Did they?
Yeah.
I'm sure
you
they
did.
would.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
When you say they criticized, can you expand upon that?
political shouldn't be part of a jury image.
Oh, I see. I see.
Well, unless you're okay. So the question is, that's an interesting thing that you said, but what is art? And don't you think that making a comment or making a statement through photography is relevant and it's very artistic. So
It's
anybody who says that, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's not what they're jurying for. It's like I've always said, the three deadly sins in jurying are sex, politics, and religion.
Well,
Yeah, I would stay away from. I would stay away from.
I gotta
all of
take,
it.
I'll tell you, Larry, I'm an exception to that rule in that for probably 4 or 5 years, I juried in with nothing but my church images.
That's not religious. That's architecture.
Were you making statements about the religion, or was it?
It's not
architecture.
I don't think it's architecture.
It is.
You'd have,
I
you'd
think-
have to see the photos.
I
To
think
make
it's
that judgment.
like a story, basically.
But
I
it's
think you
it's
tell a story
still-
with these churches.
Warren
Yeah,
would know
but
the
they're
answer
not-
to that.
But they don't take a religious position.
So, Court,
Right,
what
it
was
is
it?
true.
A religious
I don't know. I've
statement or
had some people come in
architecture?
my booth and get real religious on me.
Well,
When
of
they see-
course.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I am polite up to a point, and then I basically, the longer they push it, the less tolerant I get.
Yeah, those are the ones you erase their comments.
Hey, Oklahoma City is it's a very particular place where a certain religious attitude shows up.
Pretty much everywhere in this part of the country.
Yeah.
I actually had as I was transitioning into my churches many, many years ago, I had a wall of churches, and one of the show director, and it was my best-selling work. It was by far my best-selling work overall. And I had a show director tell me that some people made the comment that they thought my work was too religious. And I just kind of, I laughed and I looked at her and said, that's my best-selling work.
I honestly don't take religion from your churches. Like, to me, I don't think you're preaching the gospel at all. I think you're just
Yeah,
kind of
especially
showing.
especially when I hang a photo of 3 crosses on the side of a building with overflowing trash cans in front of them.
Right. But they're,
Fantastic.
yeah.
That's a political comment.
True.
So, but then the really religious people have their take on it, which is just the opposite, and it's let whoever take all the garbage out of your life.
I'll see you guys another time. Thank you for having this.
Oh, sure.
I got to run because I got to go fix dinner so I can come back in a couple of hours.
I'm hungry too.
Taco Tuesday.
It's Thai food Tuesday for me.
Chicken and rice here.
Time
Is
to
it
I like
the
chicken
other-
and
is it the-
rice.
Is it the other Tuesday or the NAIA?
It's other Tuesday.
Got it.
What's the other Tuesday?
Pack party.
Other Tuesday is the pack party, which is the Zoom I set up during COVID.
Is that photography?
No.
Now, it's a bunch of old retired artists.
Oh no.
It's Yeah, probably a whole bunch of people that you know.
Yeah,
So, okay, so how do I, it's funny. I actually, I'm not firing any pots the rest of the day because it's too cold, not cold, but it's dark. And I actually, I might be able, what time is that? What time is that?
7:30 your time, your East Coast time, right?
Yeah, 7:30.
7:30.
How do I get in? How do I get into that?
Hang on a second.
Kurt, did you see my message to you?
I'm not sure.
Okay. All
My
right.
my mind is now gone at this point in the day.
it's blinded by the light.
Is your
Mhm.
your mind's on vacation?
No, it just it's taken off for the day.
Yeah,
It's
following Sharon McAllister on Facebook, and she's home now. She's been traveling all over the world.
Barry, open up the
I
chat,
got it open.
and there it is.
How do I copy that? Oh, there. Okay. You can do that.
Let's see. Usually it's Bonnie, Allison, me,
Sally Bright,
Sally Bright, Kathleen,
Jim Parker.
yep,
Oh, that'll be fun. Okay. I
Gene
think
Vogel occasionally.
if I do a print screen, I
It's
need
easier if you
lights.
do Notepad.
Oh, what? Huh?
Can you just highlight it and copy it?
Yeah, I can.
And
That'd be
Highlight
the
it,
other
copy
way.
You
it,
could
and
just
paste it into a note or something.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Copy. All right.
So I will see everyone later.
take care.
Sounds good. I'm actually
Bye.
gonna join 7:30. Cool.
Yep.
All right. See y'all.
All right, bye. So we done?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Anybody have anything to say?
Hey, what?
Uh,
Yay, go Lions. First of all, go Lions. And
I'm a-
secondly, it's such a difference firing pots at 30-degree weather versus 15-degree weather.
I would imagine.
They all coming out nice now. It's great.
Good.
I actually can
Good.
go to Florida now.
And you're
With some
doing
work.
coconut grove.
Yeah. Well, first Fort
That's the first-
Myers.
Oh, got it. All right. Well, good luck. Good luck there.
I know. I know. I just want to come home with more money than I left. Because I
Yep,
got a
that's
new
part of
van, so
it.
I got to pay for it.
Right.
Right. Well, here's hoping. You know, the stock market is like record crazy.
That's right.
So
And yet-
hopefully people.
And yet Biden doesn't get any credit for it.
I know.
Isn't it
I know.
outrageous? That's because the
Outrageous.
Democrats are morons, and they should be pushing this stuff. Instead, they're sitting with their, in a
They're starting
catatonic
to.
state.
They're starting to.
Yeah, well, Trump's been doing it for 4 years, so
Yeah. Well, they're starting to call them names too.
It's all
Lincoln
today's New Hampshire.
yeah. Our next
Scary.
president,
Oh, God forbid.
it's inevitable.
He confused Nikki Haley with
Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, it's funny. I know her as Speaker Pelosi, so I always need that
Yeah.
to say that.
And,
But
and
yeah.
yet, none of his loyal fan base cares about any of these things. It's
No.
outrageous.
Yeah.
How does this happen?
He was sent from God.
Apparently.
That's what that's what they say.
Is the Lincoln Project's parody of his ad? Lincoln Project. Lincoln
yeah.
Project
Oh,
parody
Yeah,
of
and
that.
it's great. It still doesn't have any effect. Where's the no the no party. There was a group that was going to do this.
No label.
Yes,
They,
Cornell West, you mean?
I hope not.
Yes, he's on the no label party.
Oh God. Well,
Yeah, I
Bobby
know.
Kennedy Jr. too. Or, well, I think he's independent of that one too. But
He just, I mean,
don't get me started on him.
yeah. Anyway.
What a hypocrite.
Yep. To say the
Hey,
least. Well,
they're all
anyway.
anti-Semitic.
Yeah. They are.
And I'm getting really angry about this. I'm starting to not hold back. As if I ever did hold back.
Right. I was
But no, I mean, it's like, oh my God.
This is why it's disturbing that like my discussion on a Facebook group that people would get offended. There are so many things to be offended about.
That's
And,
right. Yes.
sometimes I see discussions and it's like, and I roll right by, I don't participate. And that's, turn the channel, change the page. I mean, we have the capabilities of doing that. And anyway.
There's so much wrong and so many wrong ideas, so many wrong statements that are not based on any reality. And it's every day and you can't keep up with it almost.
No.
Horrible. What happened to this country? Maybe it was always like this. It's just that we're
baby boomers. Sorry.
That would be us, the four of us here.
Yeah. Well, obviously not everyone, but anyway, hard to see the light if there is any at the end of the tunnel. So anyway, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, whatever happened to the fact that if a Republican won the White House, it would still be a normal presidency.
It should be.
Yeah.
They
Started to end
marginalized
under
anybody
Reagan.
that might be sane. They marginalized them all. I don't have to agree with their policies, but
Right.
at least they're intelligent.
At least believe in our Constitution.
Exactly.
That's the important part.
Well, hey, just give it. We could, like the NRA, just get their solution is give everybody a gun.
And fortunately, they've succeeded with that. Yeah. So, but anyway, you all have a good day or evening.
You too, Allison.
All right. Bye.
See you later.
okay, time to feed Elvis.
Bye.
Bye.